Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Lantern Light Adventures. Tonight we are playing the Old Stories, The Breathing Mountain, an Old Gods of Appalachia game. I'm Jen, I'll be your host for tonight and the GM for this story. Well, as we get into things, let's introduce our players. From the top of the row, Alex. Tell us who you are, why you're here.
Hey everybody, good to be here. I am Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex, and so can you. I use he, him pronouns, as does the character I'm playing, Alistair Blake, who goes by DAIRE. He is a brash protector who knows Jack.
Thank you very much. Mal.
Hi, I'm Mal, aka Archangelic. My pronouns are she, her, and tonight I'm going to be playing Theresa Shaw, the superstitious sage who cannot escape the darkness, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Thank you very much. Silky.
Hey friends, I am Soliloquy Jaden. I use they them pronouns. You can find me most places online as FatSapphicBro. I'll be playing Jasper Joaquim Vicente, he they pronouns, who is a hardy protector who defends what matters. Our other player, Heck, will be joining us shortly. Welcome back to our space here at Lantern Light Adventures. This is home to all of our TTRPG and related content on Twitch. All of our games are also uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There's a link to our link tree in the chat. You can click on that. It'll take you to all of our various social media pages so you can follow us everywhere we are. If you want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, feel free to also join our Discord, which is linked in the chat. We'll be starting a new project soon. We'll be playing a new modern magic fantasy game. We have been collaboratively building the world together using, I'm sorry, did you say street magic? Our world building session will be a Patreon exclusive. Then we'll play our game using Montecook Games Cypher System, which will be streamed live here on Twitch, and the VODs will be posted on our YouTube per usual. More info will be coming soon. Thanks for joining us today for the Old Stories, The Breathing Mountain, our horror-themed Old Gods of Appalachia actual play. We'll be streaming this game most Wednesdays, 2 to 5 p.m. PST. We'll be playing today, and then we'll have our final episode next week. Friendly reminder that this is a horror-themed game, so please care for yourselves as needed. As for where you can find us the rest of the week, on most Sundays, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. PST, we stream Era of the Dragons, our D&D 5e actual play. Most Tuesdays from 6 to 9 p.m. PST, we stream an Empty Dream, our Girl by Moonlight actual play. We also record an audio cast after show for each of our games where we go over any necessary advancement steps and debrief from the game. You can listen to these for free on our Patreon at patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. All of our after shows will always be free, but we appreciate any contributions and support as it helps continue to bring you more awesome queer content from us. Just as a reminder, each month we take the last 7 days of the month off so that we can edit and prepare more content for y'all, as well as have a bit of a break to handle our day-to-day responsibilities. But again, we will be streaming this game next Wednesday because it'll be our final session. And finally, in support of A Free Palestine, we will be financially supporting a family through the Pass the Hat project. More information for that will be shared once we're assigned our family. But until then, there is a donation link for Doctors Without Borders on our page that you can support in the meantime. Thanks so much.
And thank you. So, bit of a recap, my dear friends who are listening around today. The party has done something rather remarkable. A kind of tying of stories all together, kind of putting a neat little twine string bow on the proverbial package, so to say. They've organized themselves in a union-like manner, planting trees of sacredness around Timber, marking it as a spot where the old man, well, the very fine and southern man, cannot go. Timber, with all of its might and secrets, seems to be caught in a deep thrall of a promise, a contract, and the deep need to protect those you love. Stories that are perpetuated throughout time. This story just happens to be a little spooky, but spooky stories can be love stories in their own right. Just depends on how you spin them. This love story turned horror story finds our players after a night out, few drinks in, a good day where the fine dressed man had addressed Theresa, had poked a little fun at the fact that maybe not all is right in the world. Love is a burden. but not all of us see it that way, and that's a good thing. So, with one day left to do your things, to gather what you need to protect Timber, to protect the citizens you've taken on as your burdens, as your wards, as those you want to put your heart and soul into protecting. The sun rises. The mist doesn't quite dissipate as it should on this fine summer morning. Kind of lingers too much in the air. You can see the fog kind of cling to the mountainsides, hold its breath against the trees, and there's a stillness, and those who've been here a while know that it's gonna be a hot one. Because days like this that start cold end up being terrible and hot and muggy. It's just the way of the mountain. It's just the way of life. But we're gonna step a bit out of the story, if I may, to the players, if I can group intrusion you as the GM. Don't forget your XPs, as one is too inclined to take. As we tear away the veil just a little bit, not too much, we will return to Timber, my friends. Don't forget that. We will return to this horror story, turn love story, turn horror story. But all of us are around a campfire. We are telling this story to each other. I brought it up as a means of a spooky story in the woods. We are camping, let's say. We are in the middle of the woods. There's a creek beside us. There are woods around us. There's a campfire in front of us, and we have marshmallows and chocolate as one's intent to make s'mores. That is us. We are campers in this wood, making s'mores around a fire, telling a spooky story together. You all know the characters. You all know the roles you've played and taken part in. You know the fine dressed Southern man who's come in to preach and tell you how things are. You know Jonas. You know the green man who turned human. You know the loved ones. You know Owen. You know your hearts and souls are into the story. And when I hand over some marshmallows to you, let's say you, Silky. How do you want this story to start on this fine summer day that'll get too hot, too muggy, in the middle of Timber?
How do you mean, how do I want this to start?
How do you want this story to start?
Oh man, my brain is so not here today. Sorry, y'all.
It's all right. Marshmallows, declined by yourself, if I may, are passed on to you, Mal. There's a lot left. I've brought too many 10 packs of marshmallows. I like s'mores a lot, especially in a camping situation. How do you want this story to start?
I want this story to start we're telling the story of, as I've been calling them in our little announcements, our denizens of Timber. But an interesting new denizen of Timber is John. He's not human, but he doesn't know that. All this darkness is happening around this immortal being, and I want this to start on him and what he's doing and how he's coping with his new life.
Sure. As we pull the veil back down, the fire around us grows a little bit brighter, and offering to the ghosts that gather for stories. As we pull ourselves back into Timber, we see John, this lanky, tall man, wild red hair, blue eyes that could pierce the heavens. And he's standing barefoot in front of a bakery, holding a fresh loaf of rye bread. Not sure entirely why it brings nostalgia to him, or fondness. He doesn't really like the taste of rye. Just there's a memory around it that he can't quite place. Something promised in that rye bread that he likes and enjoys, but he does not enjoy the taste of rye itself. It's too dry, in his opinion. If rye could taste dry, it's that kind of taste. He likes the sourness of sourdough, though. He likes the percolating bacteria and yeast that make sourdough sour. But he can't remember why. He has no memory of why he likes it. And perhaps that bothers him the most. All he knows is that he grows flowers, he's a gardener, and he works in the bakery that his friend DAIRE lets him work at because that is what he does. But he doesn't know how he became a baker. And that's the tragedy of John. He did so much for someone he cannot remember. Yet he stands here barefoot, holding a piece of rye bread that he dislikes only because he has it in his memory, and a friend named DAIRE holds him in that spot, rooted. And he sees you, DAIRE. It's your bakery, after all. And there's a wild joy to seeing you, as if he's trying to contain something that was there, but he can't remember. He just knows he likes you a lot, DAIRE, but he can't remember why. His entire existence is feelings and moments. And that's the tragedy of John. But it is also the joy of John. He's alive because you gave him something he could not get himself. And that's why somewhere he likes you. So when you there see him, there's a big smile on his face. And he unceremoniously shoves a piece of rye bread into your arms and said, I made this. Very proud and stoic manners that he lacks.
I do not grimace at the rye. Even though DAIRE has not taken to rye, he thinks it's a fad. He thinks that it's the new style. And he's not really into these, fancy breads that people introduce. He likes the staples, stuff that you can bake with ingredients he's known for years. But he thanks him for the rye, and he takes a bite, and he is pleasantly surprised. And he doesn't know if it's that rye is growing on him, and he is finally like an old dog learning new tricks, or if it's because his friend made it. And he says, in all honesty, that this is the best rye he's ever tasted.
That gets a chuckle out of John, and for a moment, there's a little mischievous look of doubt, but then he believes your honesty. Perhaps that's the most human you've ever seen him. When he's not out focusing on his gardening, planting trees, or other words, this roots him in humanity, making bread for his friends. And this wild red-headed man says, well, thank you. I've only burnt 12 loaves, as he points to the kitchen behind him, and you see your co-baker very annoyed. He does not like John in his kitchen at all. But he puts up with it because you've asked him to put up with it. And this apprentice that you've taken on, this wild man that you plucked out of the wild, turns back into the baker, barefoot, doesn't seem to have a need for shoes or doesn't care for shoes, or maybe he just doesn't want to own the shoes. You've not seen him wear shoes in the entire time you've seen him be a person. But he likes to bother this other baker quite a bit, and you do see that mischievousness that was once turned on you turn on your poor fellow baker as John sweeps back into the kitchen to bake another 12 rye breads that he will inevitably burn and give away to people who need them. And that's how this story starts. With burnt rye bread. Well, 12 of them, and one good rye bread given to a friend. And it is a good morning. You've done a lot. You've nearly closed the circle. You're almost there. No. Turning to Theresa, the thing that wears Owen's face hasn't gone away. But it's not malicious towards you. If anything, it's watchful. You know it's made a promise to you, and it's intending to keep it, for good or ill. But you also know it has other stakes that it's playing on. The fine southerly man that came up to talk to you, they don't get along. You know this. The thing that wears Owen's face has told you this. You get the sense it does not like this gentleman. But it's waiting. You get the sense it just needs something a little more before it can act.
I've spent some time with this entity and spoken to it a few times. Do I have a sense of what it might be looking for?
You get the sense it's waiting for something beyond, or maybe something within your control. Something to move a chess piece in the way we can understand it. It's waiting for the rook to capture the queen.
I think in the quiet moments, Theresa will kind of whisper to it and say, I'm gonna protect this place one way or another, and we'll turn this place into a beautiful grove. But if that ain't enough, I'll do what you need me to do to make sure we're safe.
It stands, turns towards you that loving smile Owen always used to give to you. He gives a small nod. It touches a newspaper as Owen used to do before he headed out. Smooths his labels and kind of reaches for a hat and almost not mocking, but mimicking. But damn, does it feel edge knife close to mocking. before it leaves, leaving you in a quiet space. Stars and meteors still scratched into your wall. And you, Jasper. Those faces of women and men and people haunt the peripheral of your vision. The ones who laid down their lives in the mountain, and the ones who made promises to keep Timber safe. But you know, Jasper, that a gilded cage is still a gilded cage. And perhaps that is your tragedy. Knowing that time could not move forward as it's supposed to. That Nell couldn't grow as she was supposed to. That information stopped and exchange of knowledge kind of came to a halt, and the burden of understanding that is its own tragedy. Because who's gonna believe you? No one's gonna fucking believe you. It's a story. Something writers tell you about. But damn, does that fine, well-dressed gentleman look like a smug bastard that he is, standing in front of you, at your door, hat in hand. And he says, "Would you like to make a deal, Mr. Jasper? For the lives of Theresa, DAIRE, and Beatrice?"
Even if I thought it was a deal worth making, I don't trust you.
No, that's a fair assessment. Don't get me wrong. Very few people do trust me. I don't need your trust. I just need you to understand I do contracts by the book. Because there is no other way to do them. I don't have your fallacy. I don't have that little human touch where I can take back what I said. My gift to the world is that dishonesty. But I could never get it myself.
Your lack of humanity is the problem.
I suppose. I could get a human to draft the bill or contract if you want. Doesn't have to be me. He can write any loopholes you want. He's allowed.
I don't intend on making deals with devils, and you don't have to call yourself a devil or believe yourself to be one, but your behavior tells us otherwise.
Yeah. Problem with names and labels is they're often wrong. I'm not the devil. I am, well, falling stars always fall twice. Once in our hearts and once in our eyes. But alright, it's an open deal. When you're most desperate, you can call me.
I know how to find you if I need to.
Damn right you do. As he gives a smile, puts his hat back on, turns around, waves as he walks back towards town. Have a good day, Mr. Jasper. I look forward to it. As hot as it will be. As you just see a knowing smile cross his face as he turns his head, watching a few people passing by, and he slips into town. But then all of you have a circle to create. And one more day to do it. Deadline's approaching. So, where do you meet up?
Probably where we left off.
Very good.
Yeah, probably know when it's going to be a hot day. Theresa has prepared a bunch of sweet tea to bring.
It's nice sweet tea, I would reckon. Theresa, you definitely make the best sweet tea. Right on the edge of dry, but not too dry. That kind of sweet tea.
And sickeningly sweet, but it's what you need when you're working hard in the sun.
I will need you all to make me a might roll. As it is hot, and you're gonna be feeling it.
That is a 7 for me.
Okay.
DAIRE got a 17. He is motivated. He has seen everyone work together, and he's thinking, damn, we're a union town now.
I am specialized in might defense, and that's a nat 20. Jasper is real kicked into gear after this visit this morning.
Yeah, for sure. Don't forget to take your XP for that.
Oh yeah.
You are very motivated there. You are ready to charge in. You have a union like ready and rearing to go. You've done a lot. You, Theresa. Well, he gets to you first.
Sure,
You'll need a break.
We got 2 protectors who rolled well. That's very fitting. We are protecting this damn town.
You are very motivated today, dear. Unfortunately, the weather says otherwise from Miss Theresa. You can't protect against a heat stroke, at least the one that's impending. And you do need a break, and your progress is slowed by a few hours. 5, just in particular.
And Theresa's not the type to like let the heat actually get to her. She just says, oh, I need to go make sure that, the tea is fine and everything. And she pretends she's helping while she goes and gets some shade.
Yeah. Yeah, make me an intellect defense roll for that deception.
All right. That is a 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says GM intrusion, but I don't know if that's your actual GM intrusion range or not.
I love it that we're doing really well, and then a white lie just kills us all. Oh my god.
How did the party TPK? A white lie, believe it or not. I've had weirder TPKs. Not intentionally, but I've had weirder. So, as you pretend to busy yourselves, DAIRE and Jasper, you are looking at, you are tree and stab the ground, tree and stab the ground, repeat. You're basically making your way at a marathon sprint compared to Theresa. Theresa, you have to stop, and as you sit down to tend to your sweet tea, of course you're making some. Of course you are. Of course you are. thing that wears Owen's face steps into your view. Hands in pockets as he's watching DAIRE and Jasper kind of whoop ahead of you. The distance between them and you is quite significant now. It's not that they're not paying attention, they're just stuck into the work. And that's okay. But the thing that wears Owen's face sits down next to you, kind of hunches forward and says, "Your work is doing fine work, gotta say."
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Something's itching at the back of my mind that this ain't gonna hold.
You know, as he kind of shifts and settles next to you. Remember when we had that crop? Well, when you and Owen had that crop of corn, and there was an infection in it. It could have spread, but you were able to contain it, but the containment still held the infection, while everything outside that containment was safe. Of course, Owen and me got rid of it eventually. He had to wait to see how far and how infectious this particular disease was. But it was still trapped inside that containment. Everything outside of it was safe. Perhaps he uprooted it before it got out of hand. Before he did the containment. Maybe it wouldn't have spread, who knows? But the infection was still there. You just cut it off. Is the infection still here in Timber, Miss Theresa? As he stands. You didn't get rid of it yet, did you?
Sure as hell is here.
Hell's everywhere. You just gotta know when to fold your cards, so to say. And when to cut off the outside from the end. Best of luck. I think you're gonna need it. As the thing that wears Owen's face stands once more. Whistles, and DAIRE and Jasper, you realize that Theresa is still behind you, but now considerably far away, resting beneath the trees, alone, on this hot, terrible day.
I'm gonna walk over and check in on her.
Oh, no, you don't need to fuss with me. She's like got a handkerchief and just like patting herself dry. Like,
You sure?
uh, it's, you know, it's a little hot, but I've definitely been through hotter.
Well, for sure, but you know, just make sure you're taking care of yourself over here. Rest up. I'll keep going. Don't worry. But if you need me, holler.
She will, in like a little bit of like, you can tell she's a touch delirious. She's like, I appreciate you so much, Jasper.
I think I'll reach over, grab your hand, and give it a little squeeze. Anytime.
And
Then
I don't think you see this, but Theresa definitely is. She was just talking to the thing that wears Owen's face, and she's just thinking about all the times where she wanted to see Owen so desperately. She sees Owen right now, and the only person she actually wants near her and protecting her is Jasper. She doesn't convey that to you. She just squeezes your hand back and says, I'll catch up to y'all, all right?
All right. Take your time. And I'll get back to work.
You do. I need you and DAIRE to make me a might defense roll.
That one's a 5.
All right. You've already wasted, or got set back at least 5 hours, and, well, another 2 hours set you back as the heat is impossibly hot and down here in the holler. You either have to stop or you will suffer a heat stroke, and you don't want that. But the choice is yours. You are close. Maybe 2 more miles to go. But it is hot. Even in the evening. Those pine trees are not helping you one bit. So, are you taking a break? Or are you pushing on?
I think I would want to pause and see how long of a break we can manage without missing our deadline.
Jonas will inform you, because he's joined you in the evening, that if you work into the night, you will make your deadline. But the night also encourages a few things to visit people. So that's a risk you will have to take, whether it be bears, bobcats, what have you, wolves, people. It's up to you. Risk is risk, but the reward is safety.
I tell Jonas that he can help us the most if he can get some more hands out here. And that tell him whatever you have to, but tell him it's important. And this needs to be a community effort if we need to finish in time.
Okay. Jonas will do so. And about an hour and a half later, he has 5 more hands that can help you.
Right.
Well, you will finish at dusk rather than before dusk. You will finish your task. And the heat still lingers even as that sun starts to set and climb back down behind the mountain.
I probably push myself more than I need to, but I stop short of when the sweats don't stop.
Yes.
Player has experienced something very close to heat exhaustion, so
I have experienced heat exhaustion. It's not fun. It's not.
So so when he starts having feelings that he hasn't felt before, and that's when he pulls back, and but he does take a little bit of a break, and he doesn't work the new people as hard as he thinks they can go. He tries to be a good foreman, whatever that looks like, to DAIRE.
And they do take to your leadership quite well. especially the youngest of these five people, a young man who came here from Lexington. In fact, you notice that a few more people have come into town. New faces, faces that you've never seen before, and this is one of them. He's a black-haired, wide-eyed young gentleman. He's eager and ready, and he has a big, wide smile across a freckled face. And he takes to your leadership quite well. And you soon realize that he's very good at numbers. His arithmetic is quite good. And you realize that once he stops planting, he has come up to you and has presented you a book. And it's about the Union and mining, and he's done it in a way that allows for safety measures to be taken. It's not a straight down cut, it's a unique pattern of cuts that you've not seen before. And he tells you he's from California. And that's how they're doing it out there. They're side cuts. Safe cuts. Less mine collapsing. But this boy from California is there beside you.
I tell him I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of this, but if it's saying what I think it's saying, I think I want to introduce you to some people who are running the mines around here, and maybe we can increase the safety for everybody. This is amazing. Thank you for this, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. Yes, he gives you a big wide smile. I just want to do my part, especially out here. I mean, I just want to do my part, Mr. Dare.
Dare's still a little bit skeptical of newcomers and somebody with that big of a smile, so he might want to do the sense lies thing. Whatever. What's his ability? Is it sense lies? Is it?
I think it's sense lies.
Yeah, sensing lies. All right. Natural 20.
Don't
Better not be
forget
lying to
XP.
me.
He's lying his face. No.
You West Coast elite.
He's actually the reason there's so many vineyards. That's why he's out here. No. This young gentleman is honest to the day he was born. He's just really good at math, and eventually he will help the mines of timber become safer and more approachable. But as far as you know, he wants to be here at your side helping you.
Awesome. Do men hug other men in California?
Oh, yeah, we do, Mr. Dare, as he just kind of wraps you in a big bear hug. He's considerably shorter than you, and his face maybe comes to the middle of your chest.
All right. I think I'm going to like the future if I make it that far.
You just see him pull back and say, "The future's weird, man."
I'm not going to sense lies on that one. I don't know. Switch genres here.
Roll new characters. You're all now in this cipher system. But as this party that you've kind of gathered around helps you plant the last few trees, dusk does come and the twilight purples kind of push into a hazy gray-black, and you can go home. You've done what you needed to do today. You've completed the circle.
I want to check with Jonas and Theresa just to make sure that we didn't mess up something. There's not a weak spot that we need to look over. And probably if DAIRE isn't, about to collapse, he's probably going to walk the perimeter regardless just to see if he spots anything.
Of course. Yeah. Theresa, you can do your magic rolls if you wish. Jonas will aid you, so you can roll with advantage on that.
Right. I'll take the 14. We'll just stick with the 14 and not the 2.
Please, GM intrusion this roll for me.
No.
I should say you did get your long 8 to 10 hour rest, so everything you needed will get back to you. Anything you need to roll health-wise will return to you because it is technically the next day. You just, had to battle the elements today, and it sucked. But yes, you know, Theresa, from the thrum of magic that has built up around you in the time that the circle started to close. You did it. You've completed what you needed to do. The town of Timber is contained. It is safe.
We did it. We did it. I don't even know what else to say right now.
I say, we're the gods now. No, I don't. He doesn't say that. You're like, yes, now we form the council.
I do not want that responsibility.
Thor appears. Hey now.
Yeah.
That's not cool. Mutt?
In that case, I probably will want to go to sleep once.
Yeah.
Of course. Sleep is required of you guys. It's been an exhausting, terribly hot day. And you can go to bed. Get your rest. Where are you all going? Are you going to Theresa's home, Jasper?
Yeah.
All right. And DAIRE, you're going back to somehow your shared flat with 3 people you did not invite.
Yeah, they're welcome. Boy, the dogs will scare them away eventually if just from how much attention they need. So it's it's a what do you call it? Like a litmus test,
Yes. Yeah. Definitely a very good litmus test because the boy from California, Jonas, and John have all piled into your very small flat, sleeping on the floor like a sleepover in the old days. And the boy from California has both dogs just kind of wrapped around him, holding on to them in the most adorable way.
Oh, what's his name? The California kid.
You know what? His name is going to be Odysseus.
All right.
Odysseus, John, and Jonas have all taken up residence on your floor, whether you like it or not. They're there, and perhaps overstaying their welcome a little. But they've brought food, bread, cheese, apples, what have you, meats, salted and unsalted for you, as a way of saying things.
Wow. Should be thanking them. All right. Yeah, that's what the floor is for.
I was going to say, at least they're keeping you well fed.
No kidding. No kidding. All right. Yeah, we probably all collapsed after a hard day's work. This is it was a good day, and I say that to everybody before we're not off. Thanks for a good day.
Very good day, and Jonas will celebrate minorly, not throw a big party, but more of, hey, we did good. Here's a few drinks, good meal, and they'll go to bed. Go to bed. He'll essentially pass out because it's been a hard and terrible hot day.
Yeah, we all needed a win.
Yeah, you all needed a win, and this was definitely that win. Odysseus falls asleep well and truly sound, and John's just happy to be there, more or less. But Theresa and Jasper, your night has settled in. What would you like to do as you see the stars starting to appear?
I think as I kind of change into not work clothes, you'll hear me say, "God damn it."
I think Theresa doesn't like poke her head or come towards you. She just says, she's on the front porch and like the windows are open, letting the cool air come through the house. She says, she just kind of yells back at you, "What's going on?"
I'll come over to you holding my work pants, and you'll see that the inner thighs are starting to wear out and tear. My thunderous thighs always eventually do this to my pants. And this is when I was younger, when I was little, and Owen and I would go out and play in the woods. Um, Back when the world still considered me or thought me to be a girl. And my parents tried to sort of reinforce that by giving me the dresses. But you can't really play in the woods good in dresses. So Owen would sneak out a pair of his clothes for me. And then as we got older and the town kind of brought my parents around and everything it's great now, but they eventually I was able to wear what I wanted and it wasn't a big deal, but Owen would still just randomly, as a Christmas gift, occasionally give me a pair of pants. And this was the last pair that he gave me, and they're ruining. And I knew this would happen one day, and I'm just pissed about it.
Theresa will just like say, "Just sit down, hand them here," and she'll pull out a little sewing kit. And she has like scrap fabric she's also stuffed in there. She's just gonna look at it and with a little bit of skill and a little bit of hedge magic, she's going to lay the patch inside and kind of sew that in and darn over the pants so that it's and she'll, with the speed and with the hedge magic, she hands them back to you. She says, "Should get another month or two out of that. Might need to patch it again, but..."
I'll take them from you, and I think you'll see me cry a little bit, like tear up a little bit, and I'll give you a hug. Thank you so much. I really try to hold on to everything I've got from him.
And she'll kind of hug you back, and she will say, you'll see like in the patch, it's actually one of Owen's old shirts, that she's maybe it fell apart years ago, but she kept the scraps, and you can see the familiar fabric of it. And she says, "You never really talk about before. I didn't really know you before I met Owen, and I always wondered why he was buying 2 pairs of pants sometimes." Whenever he had a little bit of extra money, he'd just buy an extra pair of pants and squirrel it away. And I thought maybe he was just being thrifty, but I never saw him wear those pants. Now that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it just became an ongoing joke between us. He really got me through a lot when I was younger. And like I said, the town is our town is a very welcoming place. It took a little bit of time for my parents to adjust, but Owen and his family helped a lot. They never treated me any different than how I wanted to be treated.
Yeah. Owen always took people at face value, for better or worse, but I miss him every day, but I'm glad you were his friend, and I'm glad you're my friend.
Me too.
That offer to move in, I think I'm gonna now fully extend that offer to you, if you want to.
You sure?
I don't think there's anyone else I want living with me.
You got so much room on your floor. I'm sorry, I ruined it at the moment. Sorry.
I love it. I mean, DAIRE does have some people in his house that could take my
I mean,
My room above the butcher. I mean,
yeah.
but yeah, I think I think I'd like that. I mean, I'm here all the time anyway. Might as well bring my stuff.
I think she'll lean over and she'll actually kiss you.
Jasper will kiss you back.
And we'll spend a nice cool evening on the porch.
You.
Smooching in my spooky game? More likely than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Haha. Y'all thought you were here for the horror.
As you sit on the porch, a beautiful summer's night, as terrible and hot as it is, and lightning bugs doing what they do best. You do hear some whippoorwills and a few other night birds, owls, and whatnot, making their god-awful din in the middle of the night. But as you are kind of watching the skies, you start to see the fall of meteors. Dare you catch a glimpse of a change of abrupt lights, and meteors are not subtle by any means. But the night of Timber is graced with falling stars. Many falling stars. The heavens themselves were crying for as many as you're watching. And it is beautiful. Those heavenly bodies that have decided to fall to Earth to make their final home. Part of your world, and you know that sometimes stars, when they fall, are little more than just stars. You met one after all. Got her home safe. Perhaps her folks are just here to pick her up. Who knows? But in the shadow of this mountain on this terrible hot evening, you all get your rest. You get your win and you get your rest. The devil has his cards to play in the morning. But your dreams are sweet. For whatever they are, they're yours. And the sun rises on another terrible, hot, mist-filled morning. It is a day of reckoning. But it is your day. No. We can do a small break here while we invite Heck into our story, if you wish.
Yeah.
Add another ghost to our little flames.
Yeah.
But we'll be right back. Welcome back. We turned from a short break and have added Beatrice to our roster. Welcome.
Hello.
Well, tell us who you are real quick, as everybody else knows who you are, but our audience might not.
Well, oh my goodness. Hey, everybody. It's me, SirHeckAlot. I'm here. Well, now you know, I guess. I'm here. I'm on your screen, and I play Beatrice.
What'd you do?
Oh, you want the whole thing?
I want
Okay.
the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know how abbreviated I needed to be. She's the neighborly explorer who does what needs doing.
The wilderness needs to be explored.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for joining us. And we make sure you have rolled your HP or anything you need recover health-wise. It's a D6 plus your level. You will have gotten multiple nights of full rest, so you can roll a few times for that. And you get a GM intrusion at the top, so you get an XP on top of that. Bunch of housekeeping, and I think that's good. Everybody's been rolling really well, and I'm very, very happy. I've been enjoying it. But the morning does come. You've completed the circle. It's a terrible, hot, sticky day in the middle of the holler, in the middle of timber. You've done what you've needed to do. Your day of reckoning is here, and damn birds are making racket in the morning, as they usually do. Crows are particularly active. They've found something they want, and let the world know for the better or worse of it. But John and Jonas and Odysseus is now awake and alert in your house there. John is getting ready to go back to the bakery, probably to the chagrin of your other baker. But Odysseus is rearing, ready to go, wanting to form some union meetings. He seems very eager to take over some administrative roles. He's hard working, don't get him wrong, but he's, again, good with numbers, good at organizing. And you see Jonas kind of watching him as he's babbling on, just eating his breakfast in the way that brothers watch their younger siblings. Like, I'm going to smack this kid. I know it. I'm going to smack this kid if he just doesn't stop. And Jonas is just holding his breakfast in his hands, and he's like, Odysseus, you can go into town and find us a headquarters if you want. Odysseus perks up and kind of looks to you there, excited.
I say to Jonas, I think Odysseus might be ready to meet McCavage. I think McCavage could use some of these ideas, and we'll see how he takes the suggestions. What do you think, Jonas? Is it time yet, or is it too soon?
You see the look of annoyance quickly replaced by a look of mischievous that only siblings could ever have. And he's like, yes, in fact, as he stands up, Odie, let's go. We have an old man to bother.
Odie!
Odysseus like, is that my name now? As he is holding his apple. Am I Odie now? And Jonas is like, yep, as he shoves him out the door. Come on, Odie.
Yeah, well, once he's finished with his travel to get here, is whatever it took to cross the country, I think he can give up the name Odysseus. It's done its job.
Yeah, I mean, he's no one, right? He can't be anybody. He has to be no one. As your house is quickly abandoned as it was occupied by these three people, you are left with the dogs who are following Odie and Jonas out halfway down the trail and then coming back just to sit at the door, eager for today's breakfast.
And they get it.
You get the sense that, well, you actually see the evidence that somebody has given them some food from last night. They've just hidden it away for later, the clever dogs that they are. But they will have their breakfast and just kind of lie there, panting away in the hot summer day that it is.
All right. Is it a weekday? Is the bakery open today? Is this?
Yeah, the bakery's open today. Yeah, it's I would say it's a Friday. It's a beautiful Friday, hot summer day. Bakery's almost open. John's already out the door, willing to go work, make that rye bread, and yeah, it's a good day.
All right, I'll tell them I'll be right there. Retconning, was Beatrice with us last night, finishing the fence,
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I would say that Beatrice was helping you build this circle of trees around
Okay.
the town of Timber.
Okay, because otherwise I might stop by and let them know that we finished. But otherwise, yeah, I think I might do a walk around the perimeter again because these old habits, and but otherwise, eventually make my way to the bakery.
Yeah.
Anything I see as I walk the
Yeah,
perimeter of town?
If you have perception, you can roll that. If not, you can roll an intellect roll.
9.
9. You get the sense that nobody is following you. You do see quite a few birds, a few flowers. What looks to be the start of a summer berry patch that's kind of growing in the middle of what looks to be 2 trees that you've planted the day and day before that, starting to come to fullness. They'll be really good for jams later in the year, and probably by the end of summer. Summer berries are the best after all. But it's a good day. You do work up a sweat quite a bit. It's just a terrible hot day after all.
All right, as I do this, I'm probably starting to think of all the things that can still go wrong. Beavers or something, attacking the trees, termites, something, or I don't know, kids, thinking it'd be funny to chop something down, or maybe someone from town just deciding to take one out. And also, I don't know that he knows anything about vampires, but the whole idea of being glamored by a god and having somebody convinced to break our sacred circle. I'm giving the DM a lot of ideas here. I should probably shut up.
Yeah, no, keep talking, Alex.
So,
I'm enjoying
so
this.
he's worrying about that sort of thing. It probably will occur to him. Okay, I want to talk to Theresa about these. I don't think he'll go straight there, though. I think he'll go to the bakery first, though.
Of course. And as you peel away from the perimeter, you can go back into town with ease. Beatrice, the previous day was quite exhausting. I mean, you've planted at least a good 4.5 miles worth of trees in a circle around Timber.
As someone who's planted trees, that's a lot.
Yeah, as someone who's part of the renaturalization in Scotland. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's
Yeah.
a lot of work. A lot of backbreaking work, but it's worth it. But yes, it's you still feel it. You all still feel this past couple days. You've done a good 15 miles. So you've put in the work.
Yeah, Dare's going to have an easy day at the bakery. He's going to make something that won't matter if he messes it up because no one cares anyway about the taste. Rye,
You end up roll on this table actually. You end up making apple strudels. They are introduced into the Midwest around this time.
Okay. Let's just say it was an accident because I was trying to make something else.
Yeah,
sounds awesome.
You went for apple pie, you got apple strudel instead.
Sounds great.
And Beatrice, yeah, the day is just not working in your favor. Being exhausted is one thing, but feeling the heat on top of it, another thing. And boy, do you feel it. Being in the holler with no AC, yeah, you all feel it. You're sweating before the day is even new, and you wake up to it, and it's not nice.
Me every summer. God. The AC doesn't even do anything. I'm still sticky. One of my plans for after taking down the Gray Ladies was to maybe take over the schoolhouse, because there's not a teacher there anymore. So You know, that's gonna be Beatrice's new project.
Of course, your new project is the schoolhouse now, and it doesn't take much to convince the mayor or whatnot that somebody needs to teach. It's the 1920s. All you have to do is say, "Hey, I'm a teacher," and they'll be like, "Okay." And so, Beatrice, the schoolhouse is yours. For all intents and purposes, you are essentially the new school teacher. So, Miss Beatrice, as they would call you, you have access to the school. It is yours. What entails is the main schoolroom and a kind of secondary room that was used as a home of sorts or storage of sorts. You have access to all of that. Roll me perception if you don't have perception, and intellect roll.
Let's see, I don't think I have perception. Let's see. Yep. Nope. Intellect on it. 8.
8. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So for an 8, let's see. Huh. You find while you're kind of rooting around in the secondary room a bullet that seems to emit some kind of magic.
Interesting. I don't even know if Beatrice would like understand its emanating magic because she's like magic averse. Like she has an inability. She has an inability in it, but it might be, hey, this feels funny.
You know,
Bullet
when
go
people
burr.
have, yeah, when people have a minor nickel allergy, it's kind of that burning sensation. It's that.
Oh my God.
I can
Huh.
attest to it because I have a minor nickel allergy, and I found that out when I got my tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a story in itself.
Oof. The more
But,
you know.
well, you know, but you do have this weird bullet that stings slightly when you hold it.
Do I have any idea like what kind of gun it's from? Like,
Well, not really. It's just
no.
a bullet. If anything, it looks like a bullet from the Civil War. Those round pellet bullets, grape shot kind of style bullets.
Huh. And this is the only one.
Yeah, it seems to be the only one. It has a weird symbol on it. It kind of weirdly burns in your hand, but you have it. It's there.
If you could describe what the symbol looks like, what does it look like?
Roll me an intellect roll
Oh no.
so I can parse out how much you would
It's like
interpret this.
this looks like a
Unless you
funny
have
little
knowledge
guy.
in religion.
Oh God, no, I don't think I do. Nope. That's a 14.
Okay. I think because you have an educated background, you would understand this is from a old religion. Not necessarily old world old, but in our phrasing, new world old. This symbol is attached to First Nations people. And you would understand this symbol is sacred. In
Ooh.
fact, it's a protection symbol.
Mm-hmm.
You know that it looks like a paw print, but you can't discern which kind.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, she'll pocket it for now. I mean, coming to think of it, it's like she doesn't own a gun, but she knows someone who does.
Yes. And that thought occurs to you as we slip over to Theresa and Jasper. Having watched the stars fall, the meteor shower was quite beautiful last night. And the sticky summer morning has greeted you. you doing?
I think in a way that Theresa has the same instinct that DAIRE does. That when she went into making, like, when we went into making this project and making this whole place the Grove, Theresa kind of knew it was going to be her responsibility to walk that grove, to walk that line of trees every day. So depending on when Jasper wakes up, if Theresa wakes up before Jasper, she's just going to leave you your breakfast on the stove, some grits and sausage and such, and she's gonna go walk the perimeter as well. Maybe she went the opposite way that DAIRE did, so we didn't end up meeting at some point. But if Jasper wants to, you can come with.
Yeah, I feel like Jasper probably would be also itching to like I don't think that they slept very well. Like it's too stressful. So yeah, no, I think I would probably wake up alongside you. And we can either walk together or we can both head in opposite directions and meet somewhere in the middle. Your choice.
Should probably have you walk with her.
All right.
I think arm in arm.
All right, sounds great.
Yeah. If you wish to proceed, you can roll your perception or an intellect roll.
Nat 20.
Very good. Don't forget your XP.
Fantastic. Trained in perception 13.
Very good. So, despite the hotness and stickiness of the day, you're walking in the perimeter, kind of doing the opposite of DAIRE. You're just kind of making this circle, but DAIRE eventually has to go back to the bakery, so you don't quite meet up. But as Theresa and Jasper are doing this walkabout, Theresa, you spot life kind of blooming and growing within the boundaries of Timber. You notice that it's a bit more lush, a bit more green than what's on the other side of the boundary. You're not sure if it's from the magic, but you do take note that there is a noticeable barrier between the two sides. And the trees that you had planted the few days before are a bit taller, a bit bigger than you suspected they would be for young saplings. But they are alive and growing, and that's the best part. Jasper, you get the privilege of spotting a few foxes, and they're playing about and doing what fox do best, yipping and yelling at each other, screaming now and then. Luckily, you and Theresa know the screams of fox, and are not scared, but they ignore you as you pass by, and it's peaceful. And as you kind of come to the creek that kind of cuts through the town of Timber, sacred line you see still carries on, even over the river. You notice that the water itself is cleaner within the barrier, if that was possible. But you did well. Well done.
I think Theresa takes great pride in this work, and I think she's on the lookout for places to also grow helpful herbs around the town, just kind of wild grown, so that people can come get them whenever they need. If things are getting greener, that's what she's going to start doing.
Yeah, I would say with your nat 20, you will take note of wild garlic, ramps, pawpaws, and even to an extent, the noticeable markings of willow trees willow trees, if you don't know, hold a kind of pain medication to them. In the old age, you could brew the bark and get the same effect as aspirin, more or less. With advisory, I would actually seek a herbalist on doing this, but you can do it. Yeah, you find these spots, these sacred spots. Now, as we kind of tilt into things, let's pull the veil back once more. We are all sitting around a fire. I'm passing around marshmallows. We are having s'mores. The night is dark and long, and we are in the forest. We are sharing this story together. I've just made my 5th s'more for the night. It's delicious, by the way. And the marshmallows are taken from you, Mal, and handed over to you, Heck. And I pose the question to you is this. What is the part in the story that comes next? What is the middle?
That's the thing. I want our group, our characters, um, to be rewarded for what they had to do and what they had to go through and what Timber had to go through. So, as maybe basic as it is to say, to have this fluffy, kind of flowery, marshmallowy, even middle, just feels very right. Maybe the gradual, but still returning back to normal after a very strange and supernatural phenomena happened.
As you share this with everybody, being the one who's helped facilitate this story with all of you, we push the veil back into place neatly. The fireplace kind of pops and crackles as another log is added on. Another s'more is passed along to somebody. And damn, those beautiful people who've given so much to Timber share in a moment of peace between all of you. You've done righteous work. Theresa, you've helped people. You've motivated people. Jasper, you've helped protect and add a sense of gravitas to tense situations. Yeah, you fired a gun at a potential ally, and that was hilarious in the grand scheme of things. And there you've made friends and unlikely people uniting and pushing this union into life. You've done that. Be proud of that, Dare. Beatrice, you've started a new chapter in teaching, knowledge. And the weight of darkness in this space is lifted, even if it's just for a moment. But this midday afternoon, with the oppressive hot sun hanging over your heads in Timber, allowing the summer heat to eat away at sanity and reason, does just that. Because this is not a nice story. As much as we want it to be, it is a horror story at the end of the day. I can give you peace, I can give you a good narrative, but the devil's still in your town, and you've trapped him in a circle. With all 267 souls. Not to take away from your accomplishments. You've done good. It's just the reality of things. And as you all come to this realization, we'll take a break.
Awesome. Yeah, we will take a break. We're going to be back in 10 to 15. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.
And welcome back to the old gods of Appalachia, the breathing mountain. Now, Heck has wished for good in the world. And that acknowledgement is good. You did really good. Tied up a lot of loose ends I don't have to worry about, so well done. From DM to players, well done. And as we kind of fall back into our stories, light those lanterns and lamps for the ghosts that have gathered here. Push back the veil a bit more, and we're around a campfire. We are in the woods. Marshmallows and chocolate have been set aside. Enough s'mores for the day. Maybe. Oh, just good old-fashioned storytelling. Between friends. We are camping. The night is clear. It is beautiful. Mosquitoes are a bit annoying, but the smoke and fire keep them away well enough. Alex, how do you want the story to start?
I think I want a town feast or a celebration of some sort where we can think about how far we've come and think about where we've been and where we're going. A kind of acknowledgement of the old timber and a celebration of the new. The acknowledgement of the old is not necessarily a like, let's remember our old ways for their own sake, but to sort of remind us that we aren't going back, and that the timber has a future and it's brighter than the past.
With those words spoken, the veil kind of slides easily back into place. And there is a feast. Midsummer's feast. In fact, we'll just say it's the solstice day. What a great day to have a feast on this beautiful Saturday summer's day. Hot and sticky as hell. But it's a feast. And it's a celebration of bringing in the new. The god Janus looks forward with a smile, so to say. A big table is basically laid out in the middle of town. Several big tables are laid out in the middle of town, covered in fine cloth, picnic cloths. There is a fire going to cook things. Food and plates and drinks and cups are laid out on the tables themselves. Silverware from all over people's homes are being produced. This is community. This is the spark of life, so to say. And there is much joy in the air. And there is a feeling of renewal. Something different from days and weeks gone past. It's as if something erased the darkness in this world and has replaced it with life and newness and forwardness and progressiveness and joy. People bring joy into the world. People make this home. Make timber. People make timber. And that's resounding echoing of acknowledgement of the good you've done, of people You've not seen people coming in from God knows where to Timber. It is new. And that's the best feeling in the world. Songs are being played by a bluegrass group, of course. They have their washboards and their fiddles and harmonica. Banjo kind of produces itself out of thin air, and somebody starts playing that, and people start dancing. This is life. The raw joy of it all. What would you like to do? There are games you can play, if you so wish.
I'll play a game.
Of course. There's apple bobbing. There is horseshoe toss. Axe throwing as well. And of course, wrestling. Though there's some chuckles and laughs from some men who think women can't throw their asses on the ground, but are quickly proven wrong when a woman does in fact throw their ass to the ground. And what you would know as a move to throw them onto their back. And you've seen this woman do it a few times, and she's pretty good at it. But those are the games you can choose from.
Man, I want to throw an axe.
Of course. So, as you kind of line up, it's about 15-foot paces from where you need to throw this axe. It's a large piece of round oak wood, and you have an axe, a line you have to stand behind. But if you want, you can throw this axe. Just make me a might roll to hurl this thing at the wood.
Okay. Yeah, Beatrice is gonna, spit on one hand, take the, he's just gonna try.
I am somewhere very far behind.
Not a 6, not a 6.
I trusted you. I honestly did. I just happened to mention that I was very far.
It's fine. Yeah, everything.
As long as it's not a nat 1.
Yeah.
But you, man, Beatrice, you were thinking about Jenny Brown and how you kicked her ass, and you just whoosh, fling it down. It slips out of your hand a bit too early, doesn't quite hit the mark, but finds itself embedded in this slab of wood, just not in the center. In fact, it's somehow behind it, knocking the slab over. No one's quite sure how you did it, but you managed it.
Now that is how you make a hatchet a boomerang.
I always believe
I'm
it.
gonna play it off like she meant to.
Proprietor's confused, but kind of nods and hands you a little knitted prize and says, "Uh-huh." Wary of you now.
He should be.
What else would anyone else like to play a game, take part in dancing, or enjoy the food?
I think Theresa will ask Jasper to dance.
Give you my arm.
This is a horror game, so be careful with phrasing.
Here, have my arm. Oh my. Yeah, you can dance. It's a quick number from the band, as there aren't many, well, there are some sweeter songs, but the band seems lively, and sweeter songs are for the evening when the children are not there.
And, I've danced with Jasper before, but I think this is the first time, Theresa lets herself, get super close to Jasper and like be a little bit affectionate while dancing this quick number.
A few people call out and hoot and holler, encourage this behavior. They're happy for you. I'm happy for both of you, in fact. And that feeling of joy kind of just wells up and bubbles, and town loves and supports you as you love and support them. This witchy woman in the woods and her handsome and dashing bodyguard. Anything else you'd like to do?
DAIRE probably does have enough to drink and eventually dances.
You get it pulled in by a few people, men and women alike. They dance with you, and a few of them encourage you to have a few more drinks, as you seem to dance better for whatever reason when you have a few.
Oh, that makes me cut myself off. So yes, you said the wrong thing. Oh boy, you overshot it. Okay.
But the joyous, harmonious day. Still exhaustingly hot. It allows drinks to flow freely, food to be had merrily, and it continues on throughout the day. The town might never know truly the extent of how you felt them, but they understand the joy that the sudden darkness has vanished from these lands seems to have made itself a home. This joy has bubbled into what you see before you. You even see McCavish kind of listening to Odie in a almost parental way, nodding along, and seems to be taking the ideas presented to him on board. Change is abundant. Change is constant. Change is always there. The night starts to draw in. This party's still going, by the way. It's an all-day affair. The solstice is an all-day affair. Of course, you do have the summer maidens. The whole festival from that is still abundant. John seems quiet throughout the entire day. He's observing, watching. There's a complex look on his face. But eventually he gets pulled in by a few young people his age, and he dances and seems to be having a good time, but afterwards he resumes his quietness, observance, as if he's trying to puzzle out something. Fire's nice and roaring, and despite it being nice, it's still hot.
I'll go over to John.
Of course. You sit with him, and he acknowledges you. He's holding a very full cup. It doesn't look like he's touched it.
I ask him how he is.
He's pensive as he kind of hunches his shoulders and leans forward. Gives you a look of a man who's seen too much, but shouldn't have seen this much in his youth. And he kind of just inhales and says, "Why does this make me sad?"
I don't know. But change has always been something that people have a hard time dealing with.
Kind of nods. Yeah, I guess so. But I don't think that's why it makes me sad. I like change. Change brings flowers. Change brings snowdrops. Brings age and beauty. No, it's something deeper, Mr. Dare.
Is it the community? Do you feel like you're on the outside looking in?
No, not any of that. It's just as if I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember. Like, I understand that there's something there, but it's not there.
That's frustrating.
A little. But it fades the longer this day goes on. As if it quiets. Maybe I just need some sleep. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, Dare's kind of thinking about if he could help with that, and if that's good for John, and is it really Dare's choice to make for him?
As you quietly ponder this, John stands up and kind of slaps your shoulder gently. I'm gonna go ask Mayor Bay if I can go dance with her, if that's alright.
Well, that sounds like something that might brighten both your moods.
Yeah. She likes roses, you know? Maybe I'll plant some roses for her. Or take the ones I've already planted for Miss Theresa's garden.
I
I'll
knew
do
that.
He holds up his hands. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a good man, Mr. Dare. As he kind of sets his drink down. I am a good man. As he chuckles and goes to a curly blonde woman and kind of takes her hand and swoops her off her feet as they go dancing.
I'll probably want to check in with Theresa about that at some point and see if there's anything that we can do about that. But doesn't have to be tonight.
Yeah, of course. It's a day worth celebrating. And you've done a lot. Sun eventually sets. It's about 11 o'clock when it sets. The kids have already gone off to bed. It is the solstice after all. But the devil hasn't come to collect. In fact, Bastard hasn't even greeted you on this day. And today, you know, is the day. In fact, oddly, timeline has passed, if anything. He said noon, and it's 11 p.m.
Well, I guess it's a question on if we want to go looking for trouble or if we're going to wait for trouble to come find us. And based on our track record, looking for trouble seems to be our MO.
Hey, I mean, what gets results gets results.
There's one way to get things said and done.
Cover your ears, Jen. I mean, we're all still alive. We survived this long, right? You must have been doing something right.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
must have.
Okay, you can uncover your ears now.
Where are you gonna go looking for Bastard? As you rightfully called him.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I keep giving people names.
You do.
Okay.
You
I don't
make
know
my
if I.
job a lot easier.
I don't know if I gave him. I don't know. I should let you do it more often. Odysseus. Jeez. I don't know if I named Bastard or not, but that does sound like something Dare would do.
Pretty sure you did.
I think so. Save me the
Well,
trouble from naming him.
we do. To the best of our knowledge, the devil is locked out of our town.
Locked in.
Well, but do we know that?
Yeah, Tracy, you didn't tell them.
So if we've spent all this time in the green, where it's safe from the bad guy, then it's stepping out that would. So yeah, probably at some point during the party, we all kind of hit a point of melancholy, and we're like, feels weird to be celebrating when we've got this sword of Damocles. Dare doesn't know what that means over our heads. Something Odysseus told me about. I think it was one of his charts in the book. And I'm like,
Yep.
sword of Damocles. I'm
Him
gonna
and
sound
that,
smart next
him
time I
and
talk to Theresa. Beatrice is gonna be so impressed.
Odysseus and that fancy California learning.
Sharp as an arrow, that one.
So yeah, probably we all kind of gather, and because it feels weird to be celebrating when we don't know when the other shoe is gonna drop. That's the phrase he would probably use.
Well, I had hoped that I didn't want to bring this up because we were, for once, having a nice day. But I wanted to lock out Bastard. I wanted to lock out everything, but all we did was keep the blight from spreading. We have our little town is protected, but Bastard's still here. He just can't spread from here. He's still our problem.
You're saying he's inside the barrier?
He's inside the barrier. And I don't know if the green is hindering him in any way, but we stopped an infection from spreading out from here. And now we got to deal with the infection. I'm surprised he ain't come looking for us. He was angling for a deal real hard.
Yeah, Dare needs to kind of recalibrate, because I think what got him through these last few days was just thinking like, all right, can't save the world, but at least I can save Timber, you know? Like, we are good. Whatever happens out there, at least we know Timber's safe. And now it's like, okay, same idea, different people saved, I guess. So he's this is kind of a mindfuck for him.
I'm inclined to say we make our last stand at the source of all this, out at the mine, away from the people in town, but still in our little bit of green.
I think on Beatrice's face is like the different stages of processing this. It's like, oh, okay. Really sucks that this happened. We had to find out this way, but like getting angry or hurt about it isn't going to do anything about what's happening right now. So you can kind of see her go through those phases. Um, and it says, well, what do you suppose we do then as our final stand?
If only we had a magic bullet. He doesn't say that.
A blender?
I don't
You
know.
love smoothies.
Can can Theresa think of anything in her understanding of magic to expel this thing from our green?
Roll me magic, knowledge, something in that vein that you think would fit best.
Ugh. This is intellect, right?
Yes.
I rolled a 5, but I get a free level of effort to like make it a little better. So, um, and I'm specialized in understanding magic.
Of course.
So yeah, that was a 5. I don't know, like, think effort just puts it up one successful level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With a effectively a 6 bordering on a 7. You know that bastard is willing to deal. He's trapped in the very town he's made a deal for. Expelling him might be a little tricky unless you're willing to get your hands down and dirty and dig a bit into the occult. You do have the thing that wears Owen's face very well, keeping their word to you. But you've opened that bargain up to a wide open door as far as they're concerned.
Mm-hmm.
You have several options. You can confront Bastard head on, plan for that up at the mountain if you so wish, or wherever you wish. Find another way around, isolate Bastard within the town itself and find a way to contain him there. But it's going to be tricky.
We got rid of the spell that bound the green man. Oh, Teresa's first thought right now is like, could I have changed that to bind this creature? But she doesn't have that anymore. We destroyed it, which is fine.
You did.
No regrets there.
Who's the guy we
Okay.
we rescued last time?
Zach, I
Its
think.
mom.
Yeah, Zach.
Zach,
Oh,
yeah.
was that Zach? Okay.
Mhm.
I think before we do anything else, we probably want to check on Zach to let him know that maybe the danger's not over, maybe to not be alone, and also I think let Jonas know that this update about the barrier that he helped us create, so that he also knows that there's danger, and also that if something happens to us, that it's anytime you go into the mine alone, you let somebody know.
That's why you wave when you leave on a watercraft. Yeah. You are able to find Zach. He's not the hardest person in the world to find. He's resting at his home. His daughter Nell is sitting next to him, reading a book that she's learned to read, swinging her feet on a chair. And as you come in, you do see a medical nurse of sorts there. And she kind of looks up on all of you and kind of taps her book and says, "Visiting hours are over."
We're family.
She quirked an eyebrow. I think not.
Do I know this nurse?
You do. She's an immigrant. She's very good at her job, and she knows the ins and outs of timber.
Hmm.
So she knows you're not family.
I say to her specifically, we're all family.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. I'm pretty sure you're not my brother, but all right. She raises her hands. If you want to see Mr. Zack, that's fine. But do not disturb Nell when it's time for bed, yeah? As she kind of stands up, adjusts her glasses. All right, I'm gonna go make tea.
Thank you for taking care of him.
Mm-hmm. As she walks by you, that's head nurse attitude. Just, she's in charge, she knows it, and she's gonna make sure that our patient's okay.
Did we all go with you? Or
If you want.
Yeah, whatever you want.
I think I'll
Yeah.
stop the nurse. As she's walking away, she says, "Come by my house. I have a balm for your feet. Make it feel a little better. Reduce the swelling."
She brightens up. This is why I like you the most. Your tea will come first. As she sweeps into the kitchen to make a pot of tea for everybody.
I love her.
Name is Margaret. But Zach kind of gives you all a level look and says, "Hey guys."
The good news is we built the barrier. Bad news is we think the bastard's trapped inside.
Oh shit. As he tries to sit up, then gives up on the idea quickly and lays back down. Mm-hmm.
We don't know much about gods. We don't know if he's going to come back after you. Probably we pissed him off worse than you did, but I thought you should know.
Probably. Thank you. Yeah. Shit. As he kind of pauses, looks to Nell, who looks up at him, and she just gives a level look at her father. He said, "Don't say bad words in front of ladies." Nods acknowledgement and kind of holds his hand, his good hand, up. Yeah, no swearing in front of ladies, got it. Thank you, first of all, for helping me get free from the barn. If you're going after Badger, as he looks to now, just be careful. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's tricksy.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what we're going to do either. And frankly, neither do we, so...
As he kind of laughs and regrets it immediately. Okay. Well, I've got Margaret. I've got Nell. I'm pretty sure that Devil is gonna be scared of them both, particularly Margaret. So
I asked Nell what her favorite bread is.
kind of thinks for a minute and scrunches your nose. It makes my tummy hurt, so I don't eat it.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll make you a nice cornbread. Maybe that'll be a little easier on you.
If you put a little sugar on top of it, I like it.
I like having it with
Yes.
honey and milk. Put it in a cup.
I like to drown it in syrup.
Well, all right. I'll let my people know that we should be experimenting with some alternative grains.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, they don't know either. That's why it might take a little bit.
Okay, just don't burn the flour.
Daire's gluten-free bakery coming soon to Timber. No, don't burn the flour. Okay, yeah, stay away from the rye. But that's just a general advice.
With as many Scots Irish that are in Timber, that's probably a natural thing that's going to happen.
Yep. Oh
Although,
man.
although as they're leaving, he like takes out the piece, the rye that John made him, and he's still eating it. He's like, oh, "This is growing on me," but he's not going to admit it. He's wrong.
Margaret has produced soda bread and tea for all of you. She presses the soda bread kind of in your directions and says, I don't want it in the house. You will just eat that. I want him to eat carrots and meat, so. As she kind of pushes the soda bread away and goes to tend to Zach. And your tea does come first, Theresa, as she's promised.
Thank you, dear Margaret.
Of course. No. I have to shoo you away. It's sleepy time for everyone here.
All right, check in with Jonas.
Jonas is still at the festival. He's kind of hunched over a table, looking at it, playing a game of cards. He's losing quite badly. You know he's a few cups in at this point. And he's just like, I don't understand how to play the spades. It doesn't make sense. It just... And you just see his partner's like, you play the spades on this house. You would... You see the other guy reach over and lay down Jonas's cards. You would have won a full house. It's like, oh, okay. As Jonas kind of plays with his cups, sees you approach and says, hey guys, I won a full house. I don't know what that means.
I don't know how you are so lucky.
He kind of shrugs. I don't know. What can I do for y'all?
Theresa?
I don't know if you know already, but all we managed to do, while we managed to protect the town of Timber, we also managed to just lock ourselves in with Bastard.
You see his shoulders kind of slump as he tilts his head back. Oh, that sucks.
His deadline was at noon today, and not sure what we're gonna do. Not sure if I don't know if we could bind him in place. Another level of protecting us from him. Or if we can expel him to wherever the hell he came from.
You shoot him. As Jonas stands up abruptly, then sits back down. No, you don't shoot him. The world is spinning, Theresa, and you've just told me that the devil is trapped in here with us with all 262 souls.
No. Sorry to harsh you, but
no, it's his head just hits the table. I'm here.
there are just certain sobering realities that we gotta face at some point. And I don't want to worry the whole town over something that's ultimately gonna be our problem.
I think it's at that point where, Jonas was like, shoot him. Don't shoot him. Beatrice, remember, she has a spicy bullet in her pocket. And yeah, we'll just kind of procure that and we'll do it like secretively enough, not just for like, everyone at like this table to see or like whatever, like,
Mhm.
yeah, like enough that just to show Jonas and the rest of the group. Um, I mean, why not shoot him? This she holds out the bowl is like, don't really know what this does, but something's not quite right about it.
You will see a round bullet with a strange marking on it that looks like a paw print. You're not sure what paw print, but I would say with your magical kind of connection, Theresa, you know it's magical. You understand that there's magic to it, at least. Jasper, it's a bullet that could fit in your gun.
It was just sitting around the schoolhouse as I was picking stuff up. I don't quite know why it was there or
Weird place for it to be.
yeah, but also considering who used to be there, I guess it's not that odd.
You're
Fair.
also in the holler in the middle of Kentucky.
True.
In the 1920s, where guns are widely unregulated.
Fair.
Yeah. I look at the symbol and said, well, that thing's got some, got a little juice to it, don't it?
Well, if Miss Jenny was interested in doing no good, she could do that with a regular bullet, or could do that with her powers. But if she wanted reassurance against, her sisters or the devil himself, maybe she needed protection from him. And if so, could this be something that could be effective against him?
I don't know what this enchantment is, this symbol. Jonas, do you know what it is? This looks like a little paw print.
Just hear a groan from Jonas as he turns his head, holds his hands up awkwardly. Give me the bullet. As he kind of blindly reaches towards you, Beatrice.
Now I'll hand it over.
He takes it, turns it over in his hand, and kind of just puffs and hands it upwards to anybody who grabs it. It's a blessed bullet. As his face turns back around towards the table.
But
I
like,
look.
by
I look.
who?
Yeah. I looked at Theresa. Are we supposed to know what that means?
Jonas kind of abruptly sits up. He sways a little too far backward, then kind of grabs himself onto the table and says, First Nation people use that particular symbol as a way of protection, particularly bears are seen as a protective symbol, wolves and so on, as he kind of grumbles for a moment and stops. Other symbolism, but that's, yep, as he kind of sits forward again and kind of inhales very slowly. They probably marked it as a way to protect themselves against it, or against evil. God knows we weren't exactly the most kind when we moved in.
Well, yeah, that's an understatement, Mr. Jonas, for sure.
Yep.
But I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, so.
He kind of
Someday-
pauses as he considers that and says, Why would you look a horse in the mouth? As he just lays his head back down.
Oh, you little city boy. All right. Oh, well, I'll leave you to your cups, Jonas.
Puts a thumb up. Right. Yep. Good job, dude. Yep.
Well, it's something else in our little arsenal, at least.
One bullet, one shot. It's, some tough odds.
Well,
I mean, I'll do it. I just we get one shot.
I mean, those odds were pretty stacked. We're 4 yokels against a god, so
Well, where do we want to do this? Because I think it's relatively easy for us to call him to us. He was trying to get me to make a deal again yesterday morning. I, of course, told him I'm not going to make a deal with him, but he is pretty determined.
Am I pretty sober by this point?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I don't want to do this if I'm.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I think my first instinct of doing this up the mountain, especially if, we might shoot somebody. It's still on the table unless someone else has a better idea. I'm all ears.
That sounds good. Beatrice, you were pretty handy with that axe. Make sure you take it with us.
Well, maybe not throwing it. I'll keep it in both my hands this time.
You certainly did throw it. Mm-hmm.
I certainly did.
This is a new god phrase, not an old god phrase, but there's something called a Hail Mary that we might end up needing if we miss with the bullet.
Yeah.
You also have dynamite. I still have that sticky
Oh
note.
my god, we have the dynamite.
Also, we may not want to be, in the mine. Exactly. I don't.
No,
Shooting a
I
gun
agree with
inside a
that.
mine sounds like not the best idea.
Don't
Although,
do it.
it doesn't really matter if you miss.
Hoping not to take everybody with us here. Right? I'm hoping we can make it out of this, all of us. But we have to know going in that we might not all make it out. But I think we've known that for a while.
We do have one contingency. The thing that has followed me and has said that it has made a promise to protect us. So if all else, we have something bigger on our side.
In exchange for what?
Whatever needs doing. My priority is making sure this town is safe. For as long as it can be. Like I said, it's a fallback contingency. I don't like it any more than y'all do. But it's helped us more than once. Can't really say no to it now.
Well, best we can do is hope it don't come to that.
Or we fight that one next.
Also an option, I guess.
I don't think it's evil. I don't think it wants the way these other things have wanted. It doesn't want the way the Grey Lady's wanted. It doesn't want the way Bastard wants. I think it's just there. It's present. It has its needs and lives among us.
I don't know that I care what it wants. I just care about what it takes. And if it takes something that I don't want it to take, then I think we can try and stop it.
You're a good friend, Dare. I don't know if I told you that.
You too, Theresa.
Once more into the breach.
Guess so.
The night is just as hot as it was during the day. That drought hot, sticky, terrible climb up to the mountain is laborious. You're sweating by the time you get to the top. That deep shadow mountain casts its long reach over you and the town below. Clear, beautiful sky overhead. Moon has waned away at this point. You can almost see the planets themselves, even without a telescope. That's how clear it is today. That gentle breeze brings out fireflies and catches you as you are able to look over the town of Timber, resting neatly in the holler below you, reflecting upon moments of triumph and loss. This quiet, still night, and the spark of a fire that sets the town of Timber ablaze. Devil didn't need you to come to him, he was already in play. He was just waiting. And he's making his point. The town burns on a hot and sticky night. The screams reach you before the smoke does. And the contrast of shadows against light is almost too much, and all you hear is, "I always collect my debts. No matter how it all turns out. You trapped me in here, clever little birds you are. But damn, does wood burn just as nice." Bastard steps into your view, smoothing his nice silken suit. And he watches the town below him, smoke filling the air as he turns to all of you. Little hell on earth, I suppose. If this is what's gonna be my home, I wanted it to be a little comfortable. Are we gonna talk? Or are you gonna have your way? The sort of violence you humans are so fond of. I didn't need bargains to do this. I was just fulfilling my end.
Going on about non-violence ain't gonna stop you from getting popped in the mouth, and I'm going to use my ribbons of darkness to surround him.
Of course.
Things just shadows. The shadows at Theresa's feet extend and reach across and surround him as the thing that wears Owen's face comes to my aid.
He doesn't resist.
All tasks are hindered for him.
He doesn't resist. In fact, he welcomes it. And he stands there bound, looking at all of you and says, "Alright, what's next? What will you do next? Please, tell me. Show me, even."
Are we in an order, or is this a little freeform?
A little freeform, because he's not attacking or resisting. In fact, he's doing nothing.
I'm going to take salt and throw it towards him, and I'm going to use my splatterment. You tear apart the defenses of a creature. Any magic-based defenses it has, such as protective charm, are negated for 1d6 plus 1 rounds. If the creature has no defenses, armor is reduced by 2 for 1 minute.
Okay.
D6. So for 3 rounds, it has his defenses are wiped away.
Okay. He'll take it on. He allows this.
Well, then I'm gonna hit him with the pry bar.
By all means, make your attack.
I love that. I wish one of us was a musician and was skilled with a fiddle. But
9
this is
on the
Kentucky.
9 on the die. Does that hit? With a or sorry, is it 9 is the
9 is 9 is the damage, I believe, for roll. No, serve me. It is the threshold. Excuse me. I know what I'm saying. I know my words. I understand the fine grasp of the English language. Let me just pull him up real quick. Yeah, you do 4 points of damage to him, but he does not retaliate.
Great. I mean, this could be a horror game for him. Like, it really could be this easy, right? Right, everybody?
Right, yeah.
Who's next?
I just kind of look at what's unfolding in front of us. I look to the glow of the fire that's happening in Timber right now. I look at him. I just say, I don't think there's too much we can do that's lower than anything that you're gonna do. And I think maybe the best way to put out a fire is to starve it. She just crosses her arms and looks right at him, does nothing.
This gets his attention. Because a man who acts in anger wants anger in response. Seems to be for the bastard as well. And he looks furious. Just for a moment, the facade drops, the pleasant facade drops. And he just watches you, Beatrice. Huh. What a clever little bird you are. Turns his attention to Jasper. You're next.
I look to Beatrice. Do we stay the course or do we head back to the town?
Well, do we think we can, which one do we think we can fight? Can we fight the fire or can we fight this? One shot, remember?
One shot. His certainty does not put me at ease.
I'm worried he's going to set another fire. We don't take this opportunity. That's I don't know if I'm in on this conversation, but
yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
I'm trying to not give him attention for a second and like.
I know. Yeah. Up to y'all what you do.
One shot, one chance.
And remember, we have one more episode for a beach day if we can take him out in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we've been
right.
promised.
I mean, Jen promised a beach day, and like she just wouldn't give it to us, and like I don't know.
I've been fighting to give you one for like 5 episodes at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
You'll take the beach day and like it.
All right, one shot, one chance. I'm gonna walk up to him. Gun, bullet already loaded. Same thing as before. And I do have quick kill, so my attack will do 4 additional points of damage, and my revolver does 4, and we'll see what the dice say. Oh man. That flew across the room. Okay. So we'll pull out a fresh die. I don't know about that, but that is an 18.
An 18. Very good. That hits. How much damage does it do?
All right, so it initially does 4, and then with quick kill it does an additional 4.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very good. Just doing some math real quick. Much more manageable, I'd say. So you approach, fire your gun straight and true. Theresa has bound him. Beatrice is ignoring him, not feeding into his ego. Dare you whacked him across the face. He kind of rolls his shoulders gently. Says, well, I did give you a chance. Never say I didn't. I appreciate all of you for entertaining me for as long as you did. But there's a soul in town I'm gonna go collect, if you don't mind. Kind of gives you a wink and brushes your shadows off of him, Theresa. Takes... No, roll me insight or intellect.
19.
Ooh.
It takes effort for him to do this, but it's effort that you didn't see he was displaying before. And Bullet didn't leave him, so... Still right there. Side. That nasty little head of his.
I have an ability called Weak Spot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. If a creature you can see has a special weakness, such as a vulnerability to loud noises, so on, you know what it is. Ask the GM, and the GM will tell you. Usually this is not associated with a roll, but you can ask for a roll if you want.
Mm-hmm. So, his weakness is whatever this blessed thing is that you fired into him. It's damaged him quite a bit, more than he lets on, more than he physically portrays, but you see he's struggling. But he is still powerful. And that is the thing. He's still powerful and he's walking away, but you have the advantage in knowing you could probably take him if you wanted to.
Also, as he walks past me, I have parting shot. If a character you attacked on your last turn with a melee attack... Oh, no, it wasn't melee. Sorry, never mind. Gun is technically ranged.
It is ranged, yes.
Then he's going to get a slicing strand.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just she will have the pocket knife and just pull it across in the air, and she'll say, "I'm not done with you yet. It's impolite to walk away from when somebody's talking to you." And I will inflict 4 points of damage.
It is clever. As he kind of half turns, your strike is true and strong. But he catches it in his hand and he wraps it around his wrist and fist, and he says, "It's rude to strike someone in the back. You take 10 points of fire damage as a eruption of flame fills the air, and he is pissed. And he lets go of the strap, smooths his shirt once more, and says, "You want to do this? Fine. We do this. Meet me in the town, at the place where they bargain for their lives." Ta-ta. As he turns around and walks towards the burning town.
I run after him and him in the back of the head.
Of course, make your attack.
I'd like to re-roll that. Can I re-roll one on an experience point or no?
Yeah, you can re-roll that with an experience point.
Okay. 12.
So you missed the first shot, but you correct yourself and are able to pull your movement up.
Mm-hmm.
And you do get him in the back of the skull. It's kind of at the nape of the neck. And he kind of pauses and turns and said, "Don't you do that. Don't you dare do that again. It's rude.
So
I
setting
need
a
you to
town on fire.
He kind of chuckles, and I need you to make me a might defense roll, Dare.
That's just a might roll, right?
Yes.
Let me make sure I have a few defenses. Let's see. Nope. Okay. 12 again.
All right. You will take 8 points of cold damage.
You said 8?
8.
Okay.
That was halved.
Okay. Is that might, or what would that be?
It goes from your intellect pool and then into your speed pool and then into your might pool.
Okay, I have something with intellect. Hang on a second. I will figure that out while somebody else does something.
Right. The air that was suddenly once very hot is now very cold as he makes his march back towards the town.
Well, I guess why wait? He's obviously getting mad at people hitting him as he's trying to leave.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do that too.
Sure.
Oh, I took capable protector at some point, so
Ooh.
attacks do 1 extra additional point of damage, so he's down 2 more points.
Cool.
Oh, damn, me too.
Okay, so I'm trained in intellect defense. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
that matters.
Not for this roll because you rolled a might defense roll.
Perfect.
So you'd still take it out of the intellect pool, so you'd be down 8 out of that. It just
Cool.
you basically your HP is all across 3 pools. The more you deplete, the more it becomes dire for you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Not a problem.
As much as I want to do something about that, I think letting it just be is better.
I can throw salt at it if you want me to. Like,
Did you roll or something? Or
Can you do that with nat ones?
Yeah, basically the throw
make
salt
sure-
ability. It's not one that never existed.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I can a GM intrusion. I can negate a GM intrusion.
Yeah.
Also, reminder to announce rolls because the audience can't
Oh,
see
yeah. Sorry, folks. That was a 2. Which, yeah, it does warrant a GM intrusion. It's like, this might not be the place to do that. So yeah, if you want to throw salt at it, I would be fine with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw salt at it, so we don't have to expend an XP this time.
Right.
Sure.
I want to. The ability I have says I can spend an XP to turn it into something positive for my character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend the XP to
Okay.
somehow turn Beatrice's failure into something I can do to help.
Of course. So, as Beatrice, you charge up on Bastard. He half turns towards you. You see the crackle of unnatural magic skate across his suit and hand. What do you want to do, Theresa, as this is happening and you throw salt towards the devil?
I want it to land right in his smug little face. I want his eyes to be burning because he dared to look back to see who tried to hit him.
Of course. Salt hits his face and you see him reel. Roll me a d6, why not? I'm in a humorous mood tonight.
1.
Okay. You throw salt and he reels back, and when he comes back into focus, he has taken the salty damage of 1 point to the eyes. It's not pleasant, trust me, salt to the eyes is never pleasant. But he's angry, and as he kind of straightens up, wipes his face, tears of black ink rolling down his fine cheeks. He says, "You all need to know when to quit. Fold your hand. I'll meet you in town." As he vanishes. He's done walking. But as he vanishes, the veil between our worlds and is kind of fade away as we are found back around the campfire. Smoke kind of filling the air. It's warm and jolly. Blankets have been brought out as the fire has brought itself low. No more logs tonight. Soliloquy, tell me how we end on this night.
I think we end feeling apprehensive but hopeful. I think that we will hold our hope for as long as we can.
I agree. Hope is such a double-edged sword. But when it's right, it's right. And telling the story together, all of us around this campfire, sharing s'mores in the middle of the woods and God knows where, camping out here, inviting the ghosts of the future, past and present, to listen to our stories. We end on a note of hope, knowing each of our characters are facing the devil, or the devil is literally facing you, depending on how you look at it. There's hope. And the story holds that hope that you will win against an unyielding darkness. Because, damn, Timber's your town. You've created life here. You've brought these stories into fruition. You're not gonna let some devil win. Fuck that man. Fuck the bastard. He's not gonna win in this story. No matter how terrible and dark he's made it for all of you. And as the last kind of collapsing white log falls and ember spreads, you can return to your tents, get rest, because you still have a story to tell. One more story to finish out the story of Timber. But that's for another night, when we invite these same ghosts back to tell one more good story. So, as we end tonight, thank you to my players, and thank you to all who listen and watch this show. Now, as I go around the table, we'll do our outros. I want to thank you and let you know you are loved. So, Alex, tell us a little about you go.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for including me. I've been Alex. I publish and perform as Lex Wilson, and I've been playing DAIRE. Alex Zodica on Twitter, lexwilson.bsky, that's social on Blue Sky, lexwilson.com for everything else. On Mondays this month, I'm with Denizens and Dragons playing Plasmatics, and on Saturdays, I'm with the Misadventurers League playing a Wander Homebrew. And on Wednesdays, I'm here. Ta-da! We are kickstartering our comic book series, Starweed, in a future where people smoke the remains of dead celebrities. These are the adventures of the people who heist the corpses. The series is complete. We just need to do a few backer-related tweaks, and we'll send the final issue to the printers. And our current stretch reward is TTRPG related. My Deck 9 friends, Zipporah Smith and Felice Kwan, are making a Fiasco playset tie-in with me. It's a lot of fun to make, and hopefully a lot of fun to play. This will be free for everyone, not just for backers, but we still need a few more backers or a few more dollars to unlock that goal. So if that sounds like something you or a friend you might share it with would enjoy, please check it out. Starweed.com is the shortcut. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Val, I believe you are next.
Hi everybody. I'm Mal, aka Archangelic. You can find links for me on my website, archangelic.space. I also run games on this channel. I run our Girl by Moonlight game and our homebrew D&D 5e game. So you can find me running those. Um, I'm also doing professional GMing. If you want to book me for a game, that is startplaying.games/GM/Archangelic. That link is also on my website. Um, we are about to go into our Patreon supported after show. So we record an after show audio cast that goes on our Patreon. It will always be free, but we appreciate your support nonetheless. So come by and check that out. Patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, SirHeckAlot.
Oh my God. Oh, hello. My voice is leaving me. No. I hope I'm not getting
No.
sick, but I think I might be. I
Oh
don't like
no.
it. Um, hey everybody, it's me, SirHeckAlot. I'm here. I'm on your screen. You can find me all over the internet at SirHeckAlot, including Twitch, Itch, Twitter, I guess as long as supplies last, etc., etc. Just find me. It's the best place to figure out where I'm going to be in the TTRPG space next. Because I tend to wander a lot of places and wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things. But most notably, you can find me on Neon Lights Roleplay a lot of the time. Most notably every other Friday for Riding with the Frost Maiden, and every other Monday for Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, and it's a really good time. Other than that, you can find me on Enchanting Sorcery every other Tuesday for Into the Old Margrave, which is an Into the Woods style 5e campaign that has only gotten more wild since we've had more sessions and are introducing more strange casts of characters. Very fae-like creatures that we're finding around these woods. But yeah, those are kind of the big things. But yeah, just follow the socials to see if I end up anywhere else. That's me.
Thank you, Soliloquy.
Hey friends, I am Soliloquy Jaden. You can find me everywhere online as FatSapphicBro. I mostly hang out on TikTok and make a variety of content. Feel free to follow me if you'd like. As for streaming, I'm here on Twitch most Sundays, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., most Tuesdays, 6 to 9 p.m., most Wednesdays, 2 to 5 p.m., all Pacific time, but not the last 7 days of the month. And all the details are in the announcements. Thanks.
And thank you. Thank you for everyone who has come out, who listened to our story. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it as everyone else does here as well. So, find us all over the internet and where we've mentioned above. We look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, bye for now.